overall, I think it was a great movie. And as I told you, it's based on a real life Formula One driver, Martin Donnelly, who had a very bad accident in 1990, and he was potentially a world champion, they said. And so unfortunately, he couldn't, come back like, what the movie portrays. But nevertheless, it's much of it is, quite accurate, and it's very well made. And just you see all the work that goes into it. It's a team effort, huge team effort.
It was a really well made movie, I can't deny that. And also, you were a design developer for a while, and how did that help you being a racer? And I'm sure it was.
Well, I do a lot of work with Tata Motors.
Yes.
We, basically benchmarking and the dynamics of the new cars. So how this happened was Mr. Tata was supporting my Formula One program, and he was on the board of Fiat. And he saw one Michael Schumacher do a lot of work for developing the road cars. So he came back and got me involved with the Tata group, Tata Motors, to do a similar kind of role. And we are part of the vehicle engineering team, which specializes in the dynamics of the Tata platforms. And I've had this role since 2008, and it's well over 18 years now and continuing. So very, very happy. And as I told you earlier, sponsorship is something that is crucial for a driver, especially for drivers from our country, because the sport itself, the barriers are, firstly, whether it be two-wheeler or four-wheeler racing, it's such an expensive sport, because the equipment you need to get the best equipment, and motorsport is a specialized form of the equipment is all high-tech, space age, so for safety and so many other reasons, so it's expensive. So in my case, I had the support, I still have the support of the Tata Group. And sponsors are the most critical, crucial. Now, as I told you earlier, there's so much more coverage, and for motorsport, Netflix has done a great job in promoting Drive to Survive. So suddenly everybody is watching Formula One. So there should be more potential sponsors and so on.
Since you spoke about the sport being very expensive, a lot of my friends, youngsters who are really interested in the sport, they don't know how to go about it, because you need, like you said, you need a lot of backing. Probably starts from the family, or you need to have a lot of money to invest in it. So what do you think is the advice that you could give, or a guidance that you could give for it, for people who don't have the financial backup but to be interested in the sport?
Yeah, so there, especially in two-wheeler racing, that is developed quite well. There are a lot of one-make series. Of course, in four-wheeler racing, the kindergarten of motorsport is go-karting. And, there is an Indian championship which has, a bit of competition. And then some drivers from here, from India, are we have Rivan Dev here, who's a potential world champion in go-karting. He's 12 years old, and I'll talk a little bit about him. So he started off, his father used to be one of the best motor two-wheeler riders, and he was multiple champion. And of course, they had an exposure to motorsport, and that's how he started. And he's become extremely good talent, but now he needs to progress to Europe. So that is that's where one has to hone their skills, and for that, of course, the family is doing whatever they can, but then the corporate world also needs to push him through. And this is one of the brightest young talents we have, and hopefully his journey is much easier than mine, because I was the first guy, but now, as I told you, I'm sure there will be a lot more support, and we should all help to push the next potential Formula One driver from our country.
Okay, like you said, the go-karting was one of the first steps for the racers to practice. But in India, I think we had a disadvantage of not having the right kind of training. Other racers from other countries had extensive training background. So how do you see that? Will it change now?
Yeah, it's changing. It's changing quite a lot. Of course, I didn't start in go karting. I started straight away racing in single seater, so I had a huge disadvantage for the first few years. But then, you would adapt, and when you're so hungry, you want to be successful. Then you adapt to whatever the challenges are. So really, I believed in myself, and I went and started driving in the Formula 3 Championship in England. There was a lot of competition. Senna, so many other Formula 1 drivers had driven this championship. And when I started winning there, then I believed then I what it takes. I had what it takes to go to Formula 1. But yeah, it definitely wasn't a walk in the park. It was extremely difficult. Plus, it's a European dominated sport end of the day. So of course Lewis is different, and he should have gone through so much of hardships to get to where he is. Of course, in England, I felt a lot of people believe that we are not meant to be here in this sport. It's a very elite sport, and that's how it was 20 years ago, 25 years ago. But now things again, world is opening up, and so there's a lot of inclusion, and so it's slightly better than what it was, but it's still very, very tough. Yeah.
Of course. But we've always been extremely proud of you. And you're also one of Carlin's first earliest drivers, and that paved path for them to, initiate a lot of new.
Yeah. The Carlin is one of the most successful junior, racing teams, I would say. And I got them the first win in England. And ever since they've become very successful. And yeah, I mean, that is definitely a chance for young Indian drivers to, the ladder, as they say. After go-karting, it's Formula 4, and then you do well in Formula 4, then you go to Formula 3, Formula 2, and finally to Formula 1. Of course, you need to get enough. Not everybody can drive a Formula 1 car, even if you compete in the other championships. You have to get a minimum of so many super license points to be eligible to compete in Formula 1. And for this, you need to be successful in the lower categories in Formula 4, Formula 3, Formula 2, and that's how it happens. That's how you get a super license. The opportunities are, I would say, slightly better off now. Let's, we all do whatever we can for pushing the sport, and yeah.
Okay, so now we saw the movie. But a hypothetical question I'm going to ask. இப்போ தமிழ்ல அந்த படம் பண்ணா, who would you? I think we all know the question. Answer. So நீங்க யாரை cast பண்ணனும்னு you prefer?
So it's a very quite obvious thing. Ajith does a lot of racing, and he's in his early 50s. He's still very passionate. He didn't have the opportunity to do it earlier. Now he's fully dedicating himself towards motorsport, and he's built a team, and it's fabulous what he's doing. Of course, he has a huge learning curve, and every day he drives the car, he becomes better at it. And then we go back a long way. Ajith and I have been friends for the last 25 years, and that he's promoting motorsport in India, and he wanted to put this whole program together, and wanted to compete in the Asian Le Mans series, and he asked if I would like to drive with him, and I said yes, of course, and that's how we're going to get on with the Asian Le Mans season, which starts in December. So
okay,
yeah,
looking forward to it. Are you just saying this, or do we already know the news?
I think everybody knows, and but it's a small step to something which can be a lot bigger. So we're just exploring the opportunities to see how this team can develop into as I said, a staircase for young, talented drivers from our country.
That's great. And you still contribute a lot to sports, even your family, and you have a very big philanthropic, background, and you contribute to education and a lot of other things. So tell us about it.
Yeah, I'm from Coimbatore, and my family, has settled there for the last 100 odd years, and we are part of the PSG family. So we run, colleges, medical colleges, engineering colleges, and so on. And always my great grandfather, and we are part of a trust which always tries to help, in form of education, in form of healthcare, and so on. So to be part of it is really privileged, and I continue to do so. And in terms of giving back to the sport,
But it's okay. I'm just going to ask you, like, what is your favorite sport to watch? சும்மா வீட்டில் உட்காந்து டிவியில் பார்க்கறதுக்கு.
of course, F1.
Apart from okay, forgot to mention, apart from F1.
Yeah, but nothing else really matters. I watch motorsport and more motorsport, and little bit of cricket when
Okay.
Sachin Tendulkar is huge F1 fan. He came to some of my races, and of course, when he was playing, and I did a few commercials with Dhoni and stuff. So, I used to watch a bit of cricket, not anymore. Bit of tennis,
Tennis,
but
okay.
nothing as
Do you play
focused.
any sport?
Yeah, just the gym, enough sport. I think enough for me.
சும்மா time pass, badminton,
No.
nothing. Okay, strictly no.
And I'm still quite lucky to be fit, and whenever I drive a racing car, I'm on the pace. So that's what really matters, and that's why when Ajith asked me whether I wanted to do it, I'm not doing it just for the fun of it. I'm being going to we had to compete, no matter you have to compete in the attitude, in the mindset of you have to be in your category, you have to be P1, and that's what is fun, just to be there, and at this stage in my career, a lot of effort to, yeah, so yeah.
Okay, what's your favorite personal car to drive?
Well, I have a lot of favorite cars. I can keep you talking about it, but I would say the 911, Porsche 911 GT3. I had one, and I don't have it anymore, but I love it, and I hope I can get one sometime.
Okay, do you like Coimbatore more or Chennai more?
That's a trick question. Yeah, but I was born in Chennai, but live in
Different.
Coimbatore, and very recently, last 4 years, I've been living in Bangalore as well. So, of course, Chennai is a lot of good memories here, because I started driving in our Chennai racetrack, MMRT, way back in '93. Was only 14, 15 years old, and it's special memories for sure.
That was really nice. So before we end, would you like to ask the audience for a few questions, couple of questions? Do you have time?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
You have? Okay, give it to her.
This is a light-hearted question. Who do you bat for this time, Piastri or Norris?
Well, I mean, both are talented. I think Norris went through a little bit of, bit of a bad patch last race, being unlucky with the DNF. But you have to say that, Piastri has the edge right now. So, I would say, imagine if he continues this way, he's going to win it.
Hi.
Thank you.
Hi. You say that, this is an elite sport, For example, according to you, you own a lot of institutions, things like that. You come from a very, very wonderful family and all, How about a person, who is a very ordinary person, who doesn't have wealth and all? This kind of people, they compete in this kind of car races, and can they come up? Is there, in the history, are there any examples in the whole world?
Not in our country, but of course, Lewis Hamilton comes from a very humble background, but he's made it. He's 7-time world champion. It's going to be very extremely tough, even if you have all the sponsorship. you still have to go to the track and deliver. So at that point of view, competition doesn't see if you're, if you have the resources or if you don't. But end of the day, in myself, I had the backing of the Tata Group. So corporate sponsorship, no matter how privileged background you have, you need to have this sport requires a lot of backing. So yeah, unless there is a lot of corporate support, it's going to be quite difficult for anybody.
Thank you.
Hi. Here. I don't know. I'm quite late to the session, but still, I just want to ask one question regarding Ajith Kumar Racing Team, which you have joined recently. And being a Ajith fan, I mean, it's not like a fanboy thing. We are happy for what Mr. AK is doing. And now, since you have joined, can you just tell few lines about the team and what's their goal going forward, or like they have some big inspirations or aspirations regarding?
Yeah, the immediate goal, of course, is to establish. So Ajith Kumar Racing, Ajith sir வந்து இப்போ our goal வந்து to put an Indian team together. So நான் முதல் சொன்ன மாதிரி I know Ajith sir for 25 years. Because he's also interested in racing, was always interested, bike racer அவர் இருந்தார் முதல்ல. So various goals, to your going back to your question, this is step one, and later on there are a lot of plans which I think first you take one step at a time, and that's the first step is to establish this team, and he's becoming better as a driver as well. So அது எனக்கு தெரியாது. அவர் இப்போ இல்லை, இப்போ இல்லை, அவங்க 2 பேர் இல்லைன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். அப்படியா?
சார் இங்க சார் சமீபத்தில் ஏகே அவர்கள் சொல்லியிருக்காங்க, இந்தியாவில இருந்து F1 வின் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்ற மாதிரியான விஷயங்கள் சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. ஸோ அதுவும் இல்லாமல் இன்னொரு விஷயங்கள் சொல்லியிருக்காங்க, நீங்கள் என்ன ப்ரொமோட் பண்ண வேணாம், ரேசிங்கை ப்ரொமோட் பண்ணிருங்க அப்படின்ற மாதிரியான ஒரு விஷயமும் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட்டும் கொடுத்துருக்காரு. எப்படி பார்க்குறீங்க தமிழ்நாட்டில் அந்த விழிப்புணர்வு அப்படின்னு ஒன்று இருக்கா ரேசிங்கில்? அண்ட் அவர் சொன்ன அந்த ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் F1 வந்து இந்தியாவிலேருந்து வின் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்ற மாதிரியான விஷயங்களும் சொல்லியிருக்காங்க, அது எப்படி பார்க்குறோம்?
ஸோ தமிழ்நாடுன்னு எடுத்துட்டிங்கன்னா நம்ம இன்ஃப்ராஸ்ட்ரக்சர், as far as infrastructure is concerned, தமிழ்நாடுல தான் மோஸ்ட் நம்பர் ஆஃப் ரேஸ் ட்ராக்ஸ். F1 டிரைவர்ஸ் எடுத்துட்டிங்கன்னா போத் த டிரைவர்ஸ் ஆர் ஃப்ரம் தமிழ்நாடு. ஸோ இந்தியா நம்மளுக்கு ஒரு ஹிஸ்ட்ரி இருக்குது. தமிழ்நாடு has produced a lot of drivers. Having said that, Budh track Delhi, it's one of the best tracks in Asia. So yes, of course, 20 வருஷத்துக்கு முன்னாடி நான் F1 ஓட்டினேன். So now there must be definitely a lot of kids, given the opportunity, they're going to do well. So see, motor racing was not even recognized as a sport, but since 2010 I got the Padma Shri award. Adukapram, of course we have recognition. The federation, FMSCI, the Federation Motorsports Clubs of India, they're doing their bit. So yeah, state government, of course. Now last year we had the street race. So I mean everybody's doing their bit.
Okay, just one more question. Last question.
I mean, accidents, racing, this goes hand in hand. That's part and parcel of racing.
Guys.
Successful தான் நடந்தது. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம்.
வணக்கம்.
நாங்க மக்கள் இசை கலைஞர்கள் செந்தில் கணேஷ்,
ராஜலட்சுமி.
சேனல்ல லைக் பண்ணுங்க,
ஷேர் பண்ணுங்க,
கமெண்ட் பண்ணுங்க,
சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணிருங்க, பக்கத்துல இருக்க பெல் பட்டனை கிளிக் பண்ணிருங்க.
ஹாய் கட் டு கட் வியூவர்ஸ், உங்களுக்கு இந்த வீடியோ பிடிச்சிருந்ததுன்னா ப்ளீஸ் சப்ஸ்கிரைப் அண்ட் லைக் அண்ட் ஷேர் அண்ட் கமெண்ட்.
ஹாய் வணக்கம், நான் பூர்ணா பேசுறேன். டோன்ட் forget to subscribe Cut to Cut.
Cut to Cut viewers, if you like this video, please subscribe, comment and share.